Good evening, students. Today we'll start a new chapter on function. We all know that what is function in a real life example. So function means the operations that we have to do for a particular thing. Suppose in a human body there are different functions of different or different work of the different receptors like hands, legs, head. So whenever we will have to write something, we'll use our hands. When we will to run, we have to use their legs. When we have to compile something, we'll use their brain. So these are the different parts in our human body with different functions. But in computer, what are the function? Functions are basically the subprograms that are present, which are used to compute a value or perform a task. They cannot be run independently and are always called by main program or by some other functions. Clear? So we are dividing the main function, or inside the main function we are writing inside two second brackets integer a, b, c, then printf, scanf, the different things present. What are the use of this printf and scanf? That means some will print something and scanf means it will scan some value from the computer or it will given by the user. Now, what is the use of this function? Why we are using it? Functions are very much useful when a block of statements has to be written or executed again and again. When we are writing the same thing again and again, obviously we will use that particular function. We have to write a number of code, so we will type with our hands or write with our hands, right? So again, when you have to write another code, then again we will use the hands. So we can use that particular function repeatedly. We don't have to go for any other functions. Second one, in function it is useful when the program size is too large or complex. When we are getting a large thing, we are dividing the portions into part by part. First I will do this thing, then I'll go for this one, then I'll go for this one, in this way. So we are dividing the thing in to make it simple. So what is the core concept of this function? First one is reusability. We can use that particular function repeatedly whenever we want to use it. Second one is dividing the big task into small pieces to make it easy. And third part is improve the understandability, that how it can be operated. In a switchboard, there are a number of functions. First one is one for fan, one for night light, third one for tube light, fourth one is for dim light, fifth one is for plug or the charger. So whenever I want to plug or charge my phone, obviously I'll go for the particular switch. That means the particular switch will be operated repeatedly when the operation charger will come. If I want to open the fan, I will open the fan switch only repeatedly, not all the switches. So this is the usability of function. Third thing is there are some types of function, which are the library functions and the user defined functions. The library functions are also known as predefined functions. What is this predefined function? That means it is already defined by someone or the developer. And user defined function means which are defined by the user or can be defined by the user depending on the need. Now what is the predefined function? The predefined functions are, I have told you that it is a library function. Now what is the library function? That means it is present inside some library. They are the printf, scanf, getC, putC. That means those functions which cannot be changed. You cannot change anything inside the function. Then they are called the library functions. That means printf and scanf, those are present inside the stdio.h file. The square root function is present inside the math.h function, math.h file. So in the header files we are placing all the functions. That means they are already established. So we cannot change, right? This is called the built-in function, the library function or the predefined function. Take a small example. Here I have taken the float x and y. There are two variables and I am taking the value of the variable x and then I am writing a operation y equal to square root of x. So here I am using different functions of scanf, printf and square root. So these are three built-in functions. You cannot write sqart. This function is not available. Why? Because it is already prepared as sqrt, which is present inside math.h. So what is the need of this user defined function? The need of this user defined function is it can be written to perform a task, to compute and return the value of a specific data type, and to the calling program, and it may return many values indirectly to the calling program. That means if the program is too large, we can use it to make it simple for debugging, testing, and maintaining. It also saves some time and space. That means the time complexity and the space complexity of a program becomes low. Means if you are writing a program or you are running a 1000-line code, it will take the amount of time, suppose 1 hour. So whenever I am using it is a function, that means I am breaking the parts for the particular operation. I am running that particular field. So obviously the time complexity decreases and space also decreases. Now there are some things, or there are some elements in the user-defined function. User-defined, I have told you that which is defined by the user. They are called function declaration, function call, and function definition. Function declaration means whenever I want to call any function or whenever I want to search for any function, I have to declare the function first. Right? Declare the function means where I have to use the data type or the return type of the function. Then I have to write the name. You all know that how a function can be written. It is at void main. That means the return type of the function is void or int. Then I am writing the name of the function, which is name. Then if there is some argument or there isn't some argument, we are placing it inside a bracket or the first bracket. Then I am writing the body of the function or inside the scope within the within the second brackets. This is the actual format of function definition. So main function is also a function definition. At the same time, I am also using add. I want to call that function add. Suppose in your mobile there are a number of names and you want to call a person, suppose Amit. So Amit is declared in your phone. When you click on Amit, that means you are going to the definition of the name. Definition of the name inside Amit, there are 3 numbers. One for WhatsApp, one is Jio, one is Airtel. That means there are 3 different things present inside the name Amit. Amit is the declaration which is declared at the top of the main function. So before writing the main function, I will declare the name first or the function declaration. Then I will go for the function definition. The function definition can be in the last of the main function, after the main function or closing of the main function body. Then I can write the function definition. Definition means whatever is present inside it, you have to now define it. First you have to declare the name of the function. Clear? And third thing is how I want to call. What is the name of the function? That is called function call. There are 2 things. One is called calling function, one is called called function. What is calling function? Calling function means who is calling whom. Who is calling whom? Who is calling whom means main function as the actual function will obviously call some other person. I being the teacher or HOD being the teacher of a department or the head of the department, he can call any faculties or any students at a time. I cannot call the HOD. So here HOD is the calling function and we are the called function. Take a small example. You have heard of Mahabharata. You have heard about Mahabharata. Inside Mahabharata there are a number of characters present. Clear? So suppose main function is the Sri Krishna. This is the main function body. Inside the main function, I am declaring the function 1, function 2 or anything. These are the called function. Suppose I am declaring 5 functions. The name of the 5 functions inside it are Yudhishthir, Bhim, Arjun, Nakul, Sahdev. These are the 5 functions that are present inside it. Right? So whenever I want to make a fight with Duryodhan, obviously I will call a particular function from there. Depending on the need of the program, I will call which program or which function. Obviously Bhim, because Bhim can fight with Duryodhan. Clear? Otherwise the fight cannot go. Right? Because Yudhishthir, Arjun, Nakul and Sahadev cannot fight with Duryodhan. So I can call that particular operation. The particular name of the particular operation is fight, and inside fight I am qualifying or I am fighting with 2 different persons who are known as Bhim and Duryodhan. Right? So the main function is the main, Sri Krishna is the main function body. Inside it I am declaring 5 different functions. These are the called functions. Sri Krishna being the main function is the calling function. Who is calling whom? Clear? Now in this example you can see that I have written main. Inside it I am writing function 1. So main is the Krishna, function 1 is Bhim. So whenever I am calling Vim, that means Vim is a function that is named with data type function 1. Data type is int Vim within bracket. Now inside Vim, what are the different strategies of Vim, how we can fight, what is the scorecard of Vim, all of the things are present inside this data type function 1, right? That is knowledgeable to the main function, that means Sri Krishna. So for that particular operation, he is calling function 1. Suppose there is another function which is named as FUNC. It is known as Yudhishthir. So when there is a sword fight with Dushashan, so obviously FUNC function will be called. That means it is Yudhishthir. Inside Yudhishthir again the data type func FUNC, and inside it there are the strategies present inside it. So repeatedly whenever I am calling the particular function, that particular operation will be done. Hence main function is called the calling function and data type function is called the called function. Clear? Now go to the previous version. In the function definition, the function definition is an independent program module that is specially written to implement the requirements of the function. What are the requirements of that function? Right? I have to define the function. This is called the function definition. What I have told you, that for a particular program module, whenever I am searching that thing, then obviously I have to define it, what are present inside it. This is function definition. What is function call? To use this function, we need to invoke it at a required place in the program. That means whenever I have a need of this particular operation, I will call that particular function. This is called function call. Clear? The program that calls the function is referred to as the calling program. That means the main function or the calling program. And who is called? That means the called function. Right? And next one is function declaration. So before using that fight, I have to give the names of the warriors. I have to declare these are my warriors. Depending on the warriors, I will call that function. So here I have to declare any function that is to be used later in the program. This is called function declaration or function prototype. Clear? So there are three things. One is the function definition, second one is the function call, and third one is the function declaration. This is an example of this. Now here I have given an example, that means user defined function in hash include std.h main. Inside the main function body I am writing address. This is the way how you will write a program. Hash include std.h is the header file. Inside it you are writing main. Inside main you are writing you are declaring the prototype or the function prototype address. Now whenever you are calling the function address, that means that address is present. That address is written after the main function, which is written as address now within bracket. That means body of the function, then I am writing the statements. Clear? This is called the above function. In this above program, the main function is the calling function. The address is called the called function. Who is calling whom? There is another example, very easy example. Here I have taken an example from internet, is void high. High is the function definition. If you want to declare, if you have defined the function definition at the top of main function, you don't have to declare the function again. But if you haven't written, if you are writing the main function first, then you are writing the function definition, then obviously you have to declare the called function, void high or void whatever you are taking, or int anything. Clear? That means if you are writing the main function first, you have to declare the function call, or you have to declare the name of the function that is to be called. If you are writing the definition first before the void main, you don't have to declare anything. Just write the thing. So here void I is the name of the called function. Inside it we are printing two things, welcome to the function and good morning, closing it. Inside the main function body we are again writing the same thing, but we are writing one thing is HAI, first bracket, first bracket close, then comma. That means this high function will be called by whom? High function is present inside whom? Inside the main function. Clear? So inside the main function, whenever I am declaring it, it will call high. So whenever I am calling high, it will obviously go for void high, and inside void high whatever is present it will show you. This is the example. So up to this is the calling and the called function. Stay tuned for the next video that I will upload for a short while. Thank you very much.